Okay, so yesterday that meeting got abruptly ended since a lot of problem was happening in the Zoom portal. So I will just quickly in 1 minute just brush up the last topic which was abruptly, and then we will start off with today's new topic. So the last topic which we were studying was dynamic analysis tool. Is my voice audible to you all? Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, in the meantime, those who have joined, you people write your name in the chat box, okay? So, as we were studying this dynamic analysis tool, we studied that this dynamic analysis tool, it is used to evaluate several program characteristics based on the analysis done in runtime. So, in runtime, when the analysis done, that behavioral characteristics of the program, that behavior of a program is noted. So these tools, they record, they analyze the actual behavior of a program while it is being executed. So uh, one important characteristic, as I was discussing yesterday, is that we need the extent of coverage achieved. That is, when I will test a program at static condition and I will test a program at dynamic condition, we always know that in dynamic condition any values can be given by the user. So whenever one program is running or is in execution, the kind of checking or the kind of test cases or test suite we can check it with, it covers a broader extent. So the extent of coverage is achieved. Extent of coverage will achieve. Now, suppose after a software has been tested, suppose with its full test suite it is tested and its behavior is recorded, this dynamic analysis tool, it carries out a post execution analysis. It carries out what? A post execution analysis, and it produces reports which describe the coverage that has been achieved by this test suite run on the program. For example, uh, suppose this dynamic analysis tool, it can report the statement coverage, the branch coverage, the path coverage, all these coverages which are achieved by the test suite. So suppose if the coverage achieved is not satisfactory, then more test cases can be designed and added to the test suite, and again it can be run, and also it can eliminate redundant test cases. Suppose if one coverage is has already been tested for with certain test cases, then again I need to run those test cases even if it satisfies another coverage. So the various coverages which we have learned, statement coverage, branch coverage, multiple condition coverage, path coverage, all these coverage tests are done in case of dynamic analysis tool. And these reports which I am talking about, the results are the reports, they are displayed in the form of either histogram chart or pie chart. So the reports which is being generated after the dynamic analysis is done using the dynamic analysis tool on the software. So the reports are generated in the form of histogram and pie chart, and it describes the structural coverage which is achieved for the different modules of the program. So since it is like represented in the form of histogram and pie chart, so it can be stored and printed very easily because evidence can be there. So those evidence can be supplied to the developers so that they can work again on the specific problems or the faults or the errors which have been find out by the testing group. So is this concept of dynamic analysis tool clear? Yes or no? Is this concept clear? Is this concept clear? Is this concept of dynamic analysis tool clear to you? Is this concept of dynamic analysis tool clear to you? Okay. So it's very much obvious that you people are not listening to what I am saying because none of you are being able to answer. So, very good. Okay. So, Geeta, is this concept clear to you? What is dynamic analysis tool?
नो मैम।
तो इतना देर जब पूछ रहे थे चुप क्यों थे? Harshit, is this concept clear to you? Harshit, is this concept clear to you? Uh, Arya, is this concept clear to you? Arya, is this concept clear to you? Marshall, is this concept clear to you?
नो मैम।
कब आए क्लास में?
हो गया मैम थोड़ा देर।
स्टैटिक एनालिसिस टूल क्या है बोलो? स्टैटिक एनालिसिस टूल क्या है बोलो? Actually, I will tell you what is happening. The thing which is happening is you people are just we are just going on speaking, and you people are just like logging in, putting your attendance, and keeping your mobile aside, and you people are not even paying attention to what we are saying. I won't say what we are saying, as this is the case of you all in all the classes so far. So very good. So I will just from now onwards I will just emphasize on finishing the topics and not emphasize like this clearing all your doubts, because you people are not interested to listen. Then how come you people are being able to clear and doubt? And as of Geeta, your attendance is very low in all the classes which have been scheduled so far, and so it's very obvious that you won't be able to understand. It's very obvious. And also the video materials are available. The number of views tells that how many of you are really watching those. So it's also obvious that you people are not watching those. So it's very obvious that you people won't be able to understand, because without studying, no one ever has understood anything. So इतना शॉर्टकट से अगर लाइफ में सब कुछ हो जाता तो फिर लाइफ में पढ़ने की इतनी जरूरत ही नहीं होता ना. तो शॉर्टकट से तो उतना कुछ होगा नहीं, जो होगा वो ऐसे ही होगा. Without any knowledge, you people will go on pass, and you people will expect that you people will get a very high salaried job. So that's a very good expectation you are expecting. So very nice. So keep on. I will be finishing off with the class, not an issue, because it's ultimately your loss and not mine. So yes, it's a disheartening thing that I am going on saying and you people are not listening. It's a disheartening and what will I say, demoralizing and frustrating thing for me, but not an issue, because ultimately, if you look at the career wise, it will affect you and not me. So fine, not an issue. I will start off with the next topic. So integration testing is carried out after all the modules that have been unit tested, or at least some of the modules that have been unit tested, we have it, and then we perform this integration testing. Now, successful completion of unit testing to a large extent, it ensures that the unit as a whole works satisfactory. Now, this objective of integration testing is to detect errors at the modular interface. So, the objective is So the objective is that we want to detect errors at the module interfaces. That is, it is checked that no parameter mismatch occurs when one module it calls or it invokes the functionality of another module. That is, no parameter mismatch is occurring when one module invokes the functionality of other module. That is, call parameters are being checked. So thus the primary objective of this integration testing is to test the module interface. That is, no errors in parameter passing is happening when one module it invokes or it calls another functionality of another module. So what is this main objective of this integration testing is to check whether the different modules of a program are interfaced with each other properly or not. That is, different modules of a program are interfaced with each other properly or not. Okay. So what happens during this integration testing, that is the different modules of a system, they are integrated in a planned manner, and that planning is known as integration planning. So already one plan is chalked out, that is one plan is there, that how the different units will be integrated together, how the modules will be interfaced together, and how then we will perform the testing. So according to that integration plan, the different modules are integrated in a planned manner and they are then tested. So this integration plan, it specifies the steps and the order in which the modules will be combined and the full system will be made up, and then we can test the system. After each integration step, what happens is, so module by module we interface. Suppose one module we perform the integration testing, then we get some result, then we combine the result with another another module. So after each integration step, the partially integrated system, it is tested. important factor that an important factor that guides this integration plan is that the if people have learned this when you people have studied software engineering, the module dependency graph. Okay, so like the module dependency graph, by designing the module dependency graph well in advance, we specify the order in which the different modules that they will call each other. So this module dependency graph is there. Fine. So by examining this structured chart module dependency graph, the integration plan, it can be developed. So a few approaches of this integration testing is there. That is, one is the Big Bang approach. Then next is the top-down approach. Then there is bottom-up approach. Then there is mixed, or what we call the sandwich approach. So different approach to this integration testing is there. So integration testing objective is to detect the errors at the module interfaces and to check whether the different modules of a program, they interface with each other properly or not. Interface means that is no parameter mismatch is occurring when one module invokes the functionality of another module. So the different modules are interfaced, and according to one integration plan, properly integration plan, the modules are integrated in a planned structure and the reports are generated. And for following the integration testing, we can follow any of the approaches. The four approaches which are the common approaches are Big Bang, bottom up, top down, and mixed approach. So one by one we will be studying these approaches. So first is the Big Bang approach. So this Big Bang approach, it is the most most simplest and the most obvious approach to this integration testing procedure. So what happens in this approach is all the modules that make up the system, they are integrated in a single step. So what happens is all the modules that make up the system, they are integrated in a single step. So if, in order to put it in simpler words, all the unit tested modules of the system are simply linked together and they are tested. So individually we have all unit tested modules, they are linked together and they are tested. So but this technique is meaningful for small systems, very small systems. But the main problem with this approach is that once a failure has been detected during this integration testing procedure, it is very much difficult to localize the error, as the error may potentially lie in any of the modules. Because suppose when you are not applying step by step procedure and you combine all the unitly tested modules together and you test them at one go, then when errors are detected, it is very much difficult to localize that which particular segment of my software has given this error. So it's very much like debugging errors is very expensive to fix. So for large programs, it is never used. So this is used for very small systems where very few modules are there, because otherwise which module is causing the error, this error debugging is very much costlier and it is not suitable at all. It is improper in a word. So this was the concept about the Big Bang approach. The next is the bottom up approach. Okay. So when a large software products, they are often made of several subsystems. Now, a subsystem, they might consist of many modules like which communicate among each other through well-defined interfaces. So in bottom-up integration testing, what happens is first the modules for each of the subsystem are integrated. Thus, the subsystems, they can be integrated separately and independently. So, the modules of the each of the subsystem, they are integrated. Thus, this can be, and this integration, it can be done separately, that is independently. And when we have independent small subsystems, then only I can individually do this integration testing and find out whether this subsystem has error or not, that subsystem has error or not. It is a more good approach. So the primary purpose for carrying out this integration system, like in a subsystem, is to test whether the interfaces among the various modules making up the subsystem, they work satisfactorily or not. So what happens is, suppose in case of big bang approach, the entire system, suppose it consists of three subsystems, but the entire system is integrated tested once. But in case of bottom up approach and in case of top down approach also, suppose this is one subsystem, this is one subsystem, this is one subsystem. They individually or independently will be integrated. Suppose first I check this, there is no error. Then I check this, there is no error. Then again I interface these two and check, that is there is no error. Next, I check this independently, there is no error. Then again, I interface the result of this with this and I see that there is error. Then I will understand that my module 1 and module 2 was working perfectly. After the integration of this module 3, error occurred. So there must have been some problem in module 3, or there must have been some problem in the interfacing region between the results from module 1, 2 and 3. That is the parameter calling, module calling, this that region where that calling function is taking place, there may be some error. So my entire possibility of finding or localizing the error, it shortens. So the time it will take to find out the error, it will shorten. So more frequently and more easily I will be able to find out the error. But suppose this error has occurred in case of bottom up approach, where all the three modules at once was tested. Then I would have thought I would have first find out if there is any error in module 1, no. Then module 2, no. Then separate module 3, no. Then 1 and 2 will combine, 2 and 3 will combine. So it will take a lot of time, and that time was unnecessary because in module 1 and 2 there was no error. So this type of separate subsystem integration was developed in case of bottom up approach and top down approach. Is this thing clear? Oh, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry for asking because you people are not even reading. I know that. Anyways. Okay. So the primary purpose of carrying out this integration testing is what? That is, a subsystem is to test whether the interfaces among the various modules that make up this subsystems, they are working satisfactory or not. So the test cases, they must be carefully chosen to exercise the interfaces in all possible manners. That is, when we have this interfacing, so that we will design test cases so that all possible combination of the input values that can be covered in my test cases. So what happens is, in a pure bottom up testing, no stubs are required. So dummies are not required. Only test drivers are required. Now, when my software system is very large, then obviously there will be levels of my subsystems. That is, there will be some lower level subsystems, there will be some higher level subsystems. So, the principal advantages of this bottom up testing is that is several disjoint subsystems can be tested simultaneously. What does it mean? That is, suppose I have these three modules. After this I can check this module. In another module I have these three modules. After this I can these modules, and these modules are interrelated. Then what I can do, I can check these modules independently. At the same time, I can check these modules independently also in the separate window. So at one time, several parallel execution and parallel testing can be done. And after this is integrated, we can again combine and do the testing. So several parallel execution, that is several tests can be done simultaneously. Okay. And in this bottom up approach, the bottom and top down approach, the concept is same, but the procedure is, as we know also, as the name suggests, first the lower level modules are tested, and then we combine and test the higher level modules. And here what happens is, suppose I have a function call over here, and when I will call this function, my cursor will break over here. So first what happens, we check this section of the code, then we go and check this section of the code. But in top down what happens, we first check this section of the code, and when the call is performed and the cursor jumps and branches to this section, then we check this section of the code. So in bottom up approach, first the lower level systems will be checked and then the higher level systems. Similarly in top down, first the higher level systems will be checked, then the lower level systems will be checked. And in both the cases, the testing, it can be done simultaneously. Okay, so this is the main advantage, where at one time we can do a lot of simultaneous testings as well. So it will save our time, and also it will increase the reliability of our entire system. Okay, so this was the concept about bottom up approach. Next we will move on to the top down approach. Okay, so this top down approach, this top down testing, it starts with, as the name will suggest, we will start from the top. So we will start from the root, right? So it will start with the root module, and one by one separate subordinate modules of this root modules, they will be tested. So the similarity or the way of functioning is similar to bottom up. Same way the different modules will be tested. So we will test the modules, but in bottom up we started from lower level to higher, and here we will start from the root and we will go downwards. So this was the approach in top down. Next is the mixed approach. Why this mixed approach came? Why this mixed approach came? This mixed approach also we sometimes referred to is as the sandwiched process of integration takes place. Now this follows a combination of both the top down and the bottom up testing approaches. So it is a combination of both the top down plus bottom up testing approaches. Now in top down testing, what happens? Testing, now why this came into being? What happens in top down is, testing can start only after the top level modules have been coded and unit testing. So in top down what happens is, testing can be done only after the top level modules are coded and unit tested, right? Similarly, in bottom up, what will happen? Similarly, in bottom up, testing can be done only after the bottom level modules are ready. So here one disadvantage is we will have to wait till the top level modules are coded and unit tested, that is they are ready. Here also we will have to wait whether the bottom level modules are ready for our testing. So this mixed approach, it overcomes the disadvantage or the shortcoming of both these approaches. So what happens in mixed approach? Testing can start as and when module becomes available. So anytime when the module becomes available, it will not follow whether it is an upper module or a lower module. As and when the module comes, unit test coded and unit tested, that is it becomes available for testing. After this unit testing it becomes available, we will simply apply our integration testing approach on this. Fine. So as and when module comes, we will go on testing. This will save a lot of time so that we need to wait for the other modules ready, right? So this was the concept of mixed approach. Now these were the four approaches to integration testing: the big bang, top down, bottom up, and mixed. Now there maybe you will come across two words, that is phased integration testing, phased integration testing, and incremental integration testing. So phased integration testing means that is everything is tested in like phase by phase. So the modules that will undergo this integration testing, they in they are tested phase by phase or in an incremental manner. So what happens is, in incremental integration testing, one by one, that is one new model is going on being added to the partially integrated system, that is one at a time. That is, first I have one module tested, then second I will add the second module to test with it, then again I will add the third module to test with it. So one by one module is added to the partially integrated system each time, one at a time. And in phased integration system, what happens is a group of related modules are added in a partial system, group of related modules are added. Both of them are added to a partially integrated system, but in incremental we always add one module at a time. But in phase integration, what happens is, suppose I have module 1, module 6 and module 4 ready, unit tested already, coded, unit tested, ready at hand. So if I want to add these three together, I will follow the approach of phased integration testing. And if I want to add first one, then after that the results will come, then 6, then the results will come, then 4, then that approach is known as incremental uh, integration testing. So incremental means one at a time, and phased means a group of related modules will be added, but both of them are added to the partially integrated system each time. So obviously this phased integration testing, it will have lesser steps, because these three modules we are adding at one chance to the entire system. So obviously the steps of integration testing will be less, and in case of incremental, since one by one we are adding, the steps will be more. But however, when it comes to detection of failures, detection of failures will be better in case of incremental, because we can specifically locate after which module addition the error occurred. But in case of phased integration testing, the detection of failure, it will be more difficult to debug, because we won't be knowing that because of 1 or because of 6 or because of 4 this problem has arisen. So these are the two concepts, that is phased integration testing we refer to when at a chance we add more a lot of group of related modules, and incremental in integration testing we refer when we go on adding one module at a time to the partially integrated system. Okay, so this was all about today's class, that is the dynamic analysis tools, the integration testing concept, and in under integration testing concepts, the four different kinds of approaches to integration testing, and the concept of phased integration testing and incremental integration testing. So I will meet you in the 9:50 a.m. class, and everyone has written down your name in the chat box. Everyone has written down in the name in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we will meet again at the 9:50 class, and in that class we will be talking about the last few topics which are left. So I hope I will be able to finish this module today. So thank you so much for attending this class. Thank you.